Yeah, I thought it was kind of exactly what you said. I thought we played really well at home on Thursday night. It was really good to see. Thought we moved the ball against the zone. We knew they were going to play their little matchup and felt like we overloaded the zone, got the ball in the areas we needed to get it to in order to be effective. I thought we got post touches and paint touches and really did a good job of scoring inside. We were able to get their bigs in foul trouble at home and got to the free throw line 20 plus times and thought that was a difference in the game. We go to Hattiesburg and have a little different schedule, have a day in between, try to keep our normal schedule in terms of prep, and they really didn't do much different than they did on Thursday night. I didn't think thought we came out and shot the ball well. We scored 17 in the first quarter and felt good about where we were offensively. But then I thought we had some turnovers that led to some transition for them. They took a 3-point lead at the half and still felt really good about where we were. And we just couldn't get anything established inside. I thought Bree Harris picking up 2 fouls early, and then neither one of their bigs getting in foul trouble. And, we shot 7 free throws. So a very different game and how it was called on both ends against both teams. And so we didn't adjust very well to that, and we got to be better offensively. Obviously, anytime you hold a team to 57, you should be able to win, but we just couldn't. Got it to 1 there in the third quarter to end it in the third quarter, had it to 1 in the fourth quarter, and then they were 1 of 11 from 3, and then hit 3 timely threes in about a 2.5, 3-minute span that I thought hurt us.
Vote, Emma Kate, we just started. That was her opening statement, so y'all haven't missed a
I mean,
whole
we're
lot.
done. Sorry.
Questions for Brooke? All right, go ahead, Ben.
The floor game that Amber Dixon played on Thursday night. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I would love to have seen that on Saturday. We missed that on Saturday, but just 11 assists. I thought she did a great job as our inbounder finding open players. I think it goes back to how we move the ball. She was able to set some players up. I think she had 8 or 9. Didn't score it because she didn't shoot a lot, but I thought she just distributed well, found the open player, made the simple, easy pass, and was very good with the basketball in her hands. And I think that was a big part of our success on Thursday night.
Questions? Go ahead, Emma Kate.
Says Wesley Boone.
I was going to ask who that was.
Yeah, Wesley Boone. When you have a second quarter where you guys, can't make a basket for 9 minutes, how do you get your team refocused, kind of try to get that momentum back in your favor? Because obviously that's a big mental effect as well.
Yeah, I think the main thing is you've got to focus on trying to get to the free throw line, and I thought it was a very physical game. Not many fouls called on either team, and so I don't think it was kind of a one-sided deal. But I think it impacted the way we get to the free throw line and have at least 13, 14 made free throws a game, and that's a big part of our offense and being able to throw it inside and attack that way, and I just didn't think we did a very good job of adjusting to that. And then I thought we had some turnovers in that stretch that were costly, that took away offensive possessions for us and opportunities to score. And then we've got to go be able to, when we do take a tough shot, we've got to be able to go get an offensive rebound. And I thought we did. I just thought we were stagnant offensively. We had a lot of playing on one side of the floor, didn't get much ball reversal, multiple sides of the floor, and really forcing that zone to move and shift and cause some confusion in their switching in their matchup. And we just didn't do a very good job with that. So as a coach, you call timeout, you try to re-engage, you try to draw up something that gets them an easy shot, hope it goes in, and you just try to teach and encourage and tell them to just continue to fight for good shots, But like I said, I think we were in a stretch there where we turned the ball over some, and it took away some possessions. And then I thought we missed a couple of shots, but then I think we took some hard shots during that stretch as well. It feels like 45 minutes, not 9 minutes.
It did feel like a long time on the radio, too.
I know, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
Questions? Corey?
Brooke, you mentioned in your opening statement foul trouble and specifically looking at Bree. With you guys having to try to navigate that stretch without her on the floor, did that kind of sort of re-emphasize just how big of an integral part of this team she's become?
Yeah, I think if you look at our top 4 or 5 scorers, it's the majority of our scoring is coming from those players, and we've got to be able to have them on the floor in order for us to be balanced and to score. And she has 19, I think, on Thursday night, and then doesn't score on Saturday. And we've had games where she's gotten in foul trouble and had to sit. Walker sat for a good portion of that second quarter, and that's part of the reason why we didn't score during that time. Of both of those kids were not on the floor, and that makes a big difference when those are 2 of your leading scorers. So we've got to continue to emphasize the production from other people, and when that happens, that could happen at any point in any game. Someone gets hurt, or you get in foul trouble, or something happens, and that next person has to be able to step up and fill that gap. And we've had really good balance between Anlar and Bree all year. It seems like if one is having a good game, the other one maybe not as much, or they've been pretty balanced and they kind of pick up the slack for each other. We just couldn't get anything going much on Saturday night, so that was a big. We can't win. Bottom line, we can't win games if we have Amber Dixon and Bree Harris go a game without scoring.
Brooke, talk a little bit about North Texas. We got them here this weekend.
Yeah, they haven't played the last 2 weekends. Feel like they've had a month to prepare for us. This is like the third conference opponent that's had at least 2.5 weeks to prepare for us. I'm kind of feeling a little cursed by that, but we hope they're rusty and not rested. But they're very good. I think if you look at the teams that they've had in the past, maybe have been great defensively and maybe struggled to score or really scored from their defense. And this year, they've been very efficient offensively. They're averaging, I think, like 72 a game. They're in the top 5 in a majority of the offensive statistical categories in conference. And that's something that's kind of been a flip for them. But they're also giving up 70 a game. And so we've got to do a great job. They're really attack the glass, whether it be off the bounce with their perimeter. And Nobles is a great scorer. She's averaging like 18 a game. She's a top 2 or 3 scorer in the league. And we know we're going to have our hands full with her. But I think Boyd and Jackson on the perimeter are really good at getting in the paint, getting to the rim, setting teammates up, creating defensive rotations that allow Townley to go get offensive rebounds. And Townley at the 4 for them just has a high motor, and she's really, really active. And I think she's averaging like 8.5 rebounds a game. And we've got to do a great job of boxing her out and really being aware of where she is. And then we've got to go, attack offensively. We've got to take care of the basketball, and I'm sure they've put in some things over these last 2.5, 3 weeks that, we'll have to be ready for defensively and that we haven't seen. So we've kind of just been in our minds preparing for those things and what might come. But we're excited about the opportunity to play at home this week, and hopefully we pass all of our tests and get that opportunity to go lace them up and compete. We're over halfway through conference play, so it's important that we continue to. I think we've gotten 15 games in or 16 games in. We want to add some more wins to the win column and continue to get better. I think that's the most important thing. It's February, and we've got to start lining ourselves up to be playing our best basketball. And I thought you saw our group do that last year after some tough losses, and being able to regroup and just focus on continue to get better, continue to get better, continue to get better. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but that's the process of what you're in and what you're trying to do every day. So if we can do that, I think this group, again, has, I've said this about every week, we haven't played our best basketball yet, and that's exciting. That gives you a little hope, but I also would like to see us trending in that way, and I thought we did at times last week, especially on Thursday.
Questions? Brooke, I asked you this last night, so I'll ask you again. See if you give me the same answer.
Yeah, I'll see if I remember what I said.
Yeah, so before the season started, when they made the announcement y'all were going to go to back-to-back games on weekends and not have that day in between, I know there was some concern as far as recovery, playing 2 games in a 24-hour period, whether this was going to be good. Now that you're a month into it and you've kind of seen the benefits to it, I guess what's your thought process as far as which you prefer?
I think there are, pros and cons to both sides of it. I love as a coach being able to focus on one opponent. You almost feel like you're playing football where you have one opponent that you're focusing on that week, and you prepare your advanced scout and have your adjustments in place and everything ready to go when certain things happen or don't happen. And I like that part of it. I think it's been really good for our staff. I've been able to change up some things in terms of scouting responsibilities and allowing certain people to focus on certain areas, for their development too, and just being able to find new and creative ways to prepare our team. And I think that that's been good for us. The main thing is, can we play and can we do it safely? And we've always got the health and safety of our student athletes at the forefront, and I feel like we've been able to do that. I think you see a number of teams, like I don't think we have anybody in the top 10 in minutes played on our team, and so you see some teams that have 3 and 4 people in that, and you wonder how over 9 weeks how that's going to play out. But then you also have teams that just played their 5th and 6th game last weekend, and we've played 10. So I think it so much of it depends on how many games you actually get in. Are you having breaks for COVID? Where your kids are mentally, if you've won or lost, and kind of what the balance of that is. I think our players like it. I think are they tired? Yeah, but they also understand that everybody's doing it. I think they like those road trips where you leave on a Wednesday and come back on a Sunday are really long, and I think they like the shortened road trip where you're there, you play the game, you get home. It is traveling during COVID's a little different, and we feel pretty isolated, and it can get a little boring. So we haven't been able to do as many educational things with our team that we typically would do on the road. So I miss those aspects of it. But from a coach's perspective, I like it. I mean, it's what we're doing that allows us to play, and so I'm all for it.